Hi. If there is one thing that change as I keep accumulating experience, which is another way for saying getting older, is that I embrace the joy of being as boring as possible. In the sense that as a young developer, I always wanted to try something new. If the previous project I used Python, then I wanted to use Ruby. And if I use Ruby, then I wanted to use JRuby because it seems a little bit more complicated. And so on and so forth. And trying always new frameworks and trying new approaches and so on. Maybe because I have getting progressively dumber or I have less energy, but I am enjoying doing more and more the same thing. Also because uh, incidentally you become better at that. And so over time we provided multiple times this service that we used to call audit and analysis, and now we call migration blueprint, a service where basically we study your code base and plan a migration because you don't want to jump into a migration without a plan. That is a recipe for disaster. By the way, you typically have to fight the client to accept that because the client asks you a POC without a plan because they don't want to pay for the plan. But once you have done a POC, the client perceives that they have something visible, but in reality, you didn't take the time to invest in studying the problem. And so you put the wrong basis for the migration. But that's a battle that I'm fighting. But by making experience on this, having different iteration, working on here for years on this, having multiple people on our side involved on this, applying that to different problems for migrating from different languages, companies with different situation, by trial and error, you learn and refine a few things. And now we have a better idea of what should be part of this service and what has been already part of this service, but now, it's more polished than it used to be. And there are essentially 4 pillars. The first one is what sometimes people forget to do is to sit down and understand what are the objectives. So sometimes we think we already know the answer, so why someone is migrating, but I think it's better if we ask the client what are their objectives and we decide or we discuss if they are achievable or not, or in order to achieve it, what we need to do. So we see everything in the rest of the process in the light of the objectives they share. And sometimes that also means building alignment within the company because different people in the company may have different objectives, and it's better to sort it out right at the start. Then we clarify the architecture of the new system that we want to get at the end of the process. And this is, of course, based on the objective we just discussed. Then we analyze the existing system, and this is the part that is more labor intensive. This is mostly work that we do behind the scene, using our tools to process the code base, and this is the one that maybe is a little more hidden from the point of view of the client, because the first 2 pillars basically are based on discussion we have on the client, while the third pillar, analyzing the system, is let's say, our homework, something that we do separately. In the end, the fourth pillar is planning our migration strategy and deliver a plan. Let's say, the right migration for you will look like this. We will first tackle this system. We will migrate this element in these patterns that we've discussed based on the principle that emerge. We show you example, we show you guidelines, we discuss them, we approve them, and In addition to this, we deliver a second document, a tiny document that tells you how long will it take and how much will it cost, because our migration are fixed priced. So yeah, these are the 4 pillars behind the migration blueprint. A lot of years working on this. Hopefully, we managed to now present it clearly. It's less convoluted that we used to present it before. And of course, we will keep working on it and try to polish it and make it better and better. I hope it makes sense. So I would be curious if you have any feedback, anything to comment, anything that looks confusing, and just let me know. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.